So how's it going, guys? Fly here back with another Grand Theft Auto 5 Xbox One video, and in this one I'm actually going to be talking about a load of new PC screenshots that were released by Rockstar just earlier today. We'll go through them one by one and try to work out if we find anything new, but just also analyse the graphics as we did for the Xbox One and the PS4 versions of the game when the screenshots were being released for that. And I'd just like to talk about briefly throughout the video that I'm a little disappointed, to be honest, with just how this game looks, but I'm going to get into this a bit more specifically as we go through each screenshot. If you guys do end up enjoying the video in any way, shape or form, or do learn anything useful, be sure to drop a like down below, as it really would help me out. Now let's go. Now for our first screenshot, we actually have a picture of Franklin standing over here in the city just by the LS Customs over on the east side of the map. Now, I can't say that this screenshot shows anything insane and particularly brand new to us, and honestly, as much as I want the game to look nice on the PC, and although it's going to have a great resolution, of course, going all the way up to 4K, some of the nearby building textures look very good. I have nothing to complain about there. But when we look, say, over at the Maze Bank, it's a bit of a different story. That doesn't look particularly good, if I'm honest. This doesn't look any better than, say, maybe that it does on the Xbox One at that kind of distance. And I guess some of the guys will say that the PS4 could manage this better, but overall the next-gen graphics are pretty much the same. But this really doesn't look that much better than maybe say it would on the PS4 or the Xbox One. The traffic looks slightly increased, I suppose, but the buildings in the distance really don't look amazing. Now, of course, these are engine screenshots, which are supposed to make it look better in theory, but we don't know exactly how this game is going to look in the actual gameplay until it's released. The second screenshot is a bit better. We actually have a picture of this the cargo train, all the way over here just by the Ratton Canyon, just before it goes into the tunnel to it. So we're over here in Blaine County, just up in Sandy Shores, and it looks really good. The sun looks great, and the water looks really nice, but again, nothing that we haven't already got on the Xbox One or the PS4. You can see that the train has a lot of detail to it, but so did it have that before. It had the same thing. The tree, for example, just to the right in the foreground, looks very nice once again, and for, I guess, a game that's been technically remastered, but it doesn't look much better than it currently does now, and then that's really my main gripe with all of this. If you look at the rock textures just down by the bridge, it really doesn't look too amazing. It's very similar to what we already have. I haven't got tons to say for the next screenshot, which have more of this nice blue lighting of Trevor just walking through this dark alley with his truck parked just behind him. Now, this next screenshot is honestly pretty much the only one that I thought looked particularly good compared to all of the others, and it's actually of a person golfing at the golf course. This doesn't look like any of the three protagonists, but what I wanted to point out in this particular screenshot is that you can actually see a Miljet flying over at the top. Now, this doesn't look like online. I'm pretty sure this is offline, as said by all of these screenshots. But when we move from the 360 and the PS3 up to the Xbox One or the PS4, a load of the NPC vehicles and stuff that had been added through DLC actually started coming in as just random NPC vehicles on the next-gen versions. But the Miljet, although it was already released for the original versions, we may be seeing this as one of just the random flown planes by NPCs all around the map, which again, wouldn't completely change the game, but it just makes it a bit more immersive and pretty cool. This next screenshot is actually pretty cool. It looks to be Franklin jumping over down this mountain, again just on the east side of the map. It's a kind of dusk, it looks like, and it's sunset, and it looks really nice. It has some cool lighting, but again, nothing too amazing in terms of the grass and stuff. It looks very similar to what we already have. In this new screenshot, we actually have a picture of Michael in one of the missions that involve him going back to North Yankton. Spoiler if you haven't already played the game. But he's actually wearing gloves, which is something that I wanted to point out in this. These don't look like gloves that we already have or that we used throughout the campaign. So this may be another hint or a little leak that we may be able to wear gloves just randomly in the game. We don't have to wear any particular outfit with it, which of course would be pretty good. Next up, we have another nice scenery screenshot over here, kind of out in the wilderness, and this shows a couple of rabbits in the foreground, just in the grass, and what looks to be just a deer across the water. Again, looks very nice, but you know what's coming now. Nothing that we haven't already seen, which is a bit disappointing. This next screenshot is of the three guys involved in the heist, which actually is the first heist that you do in this game, is the Vangelico heist. It's the three of them just finishing up the heist by riding up their Sanchez's into the Pops Pills truck, which is of course used in that first Vangelico heist. Next, we have the three protagonists all sitting in a car together. Looks like they're driving through the city, and they're of course being chased by the cops, as they tend to do. They're all dressed in black, which tells us that they've probably just done a heist altogether, but it's a bit hard to identify exactly which one. Still, it's a pretty cool screenshot. We next have another nice scenery one. It's actually of a duster flying just over here in Blaine County, up in Grapeseed. We're just by the road here, but As much as this looks nice and I really like the setting and the lighting of it, we can see the tree, say down in the bottom left, looks kind of out of place. The lighting on it seems a bit weird, it looks like it has some jagged edges, and it just makes me a little bit fearful of what we might see on the PC version for GTA 5. This next screenshot, to be honest, is pretty much amazing. I really like the lighting on this, it's very impressive. I don't really have many complaints as of Franklin, of course, riding away on a bike, shooting a pistol, and the lighting from just down here at the strip club is illuminating everything kind of a red and purple hue, so no complaints here. On the other hand, this looks very nice. We now have Trevor walking away from his Sabre Turbo GT, just walking over to his meth lab. As you can see, one of the assistant meth cooks looking out the window, actually upstairs, and overall it's just a pretty nice screenshot. Next up, Trevor's doing some hunting in the Raton Canyon with a sniper rifle. He's dressed all in camo gear, it's at night, we have a pretty cool lightning bolt going down the back of the sky, and the moon is lighting up the water just down there at the bottom of the rocks. I really like this screenshot, and it's very immersive in terms of like the actual gameplay aspect of it. Second to last is actually Franklin and Chop sitting on Michael's doorstep down in the Vinewood Hills. Now, a lot of people couldn't remember what mission this is from, and to be honest, not gonna lie. Many people are speculating that this would now be the fact that you can just sit your character down as and when you want on any surface in the game. Now, I'm not completely convinced that this is quite right. I don't see this happening, as it seems completely pointless. But I still don't know exactly what mission this is from, so it's always a possibility. And finally, we have a really interesting screenshot. Now, this is actually set down at Vespucci Beach, and it's actually just on the water, and more specifically on the yacht. Now, this is the yacht that you see in the mission Daddy's Little Girl, and we've also seen this talked about in the heist trailer, or shown in the heist trailer, as a specific location for one of the heists to happen. So I don't exactly know how this is going to work. It looks like this guy's just taken it over. We can't quite tell if it's Michael or Trevor here with the white finger on the right, but this looks like we may be able to take it over after the heist, as in Daddy's Little Girl, the mission, you never actually end up climbing onto the boat, it's just a cutscene, or you briefly walk up some stairs, but you don't ever get to explore the boat. So this could be another interesting thing, and I'd love to see this actually come to light, if you could maybe even drive the boat, if we're going completely crazy. But that is pretty much the end of all of our screenshots that we have now, guys. If you guys did enjoy the video in any way, shape or form, be sure to drop a like down below. Are you guys excited for the PC version of GTA 5 coming out on April the 14th? Hoping that it doesn't once again get delayed. Subscribe for more videos like this coming very soon. And finally, follow me on Twitter for any more exclusive updates, behind the scenes, and just general content that you don't always see on this channel. And that is pretty much it. Thank you guys all very much for watching. My name has been Flair, signing out.